Adding a child on title as joint owner of your family cabin is rarely a good idea from a tax and estate planning perspective. I know that there's a lot of individuals out there that think that they can be clever and avoid tax by adding their child on to the family cabin so that when they pass away, they can avoid tax. And that's just not how it works. And so I'm going to discuss what actually happens if you do that. So, if you add your child on title to your family cabin, you're deemed to have disposed of part of that cabin. And so, if that cabin has increased in value since you've owned it, suddenly you're going to have a tax liability to pay. Now, you may find that you can use your principal residence exemption to avoid that tax liability, but does it make sense to actually use that exemption on the family cabin, or should you be using it on your actual home? Because you can use it on either or, but you want to make sure that you use it properly. Now, the next problem that you're going to find is that you just subjected that cabin to all of the creditors of your child because when you added them on title, you've gifted them that asset. They now own it, which means it becomes subject to their creditors. So if they go out there and they make a bad decision and get sued, they end up getting divorced. Suddenly, you're going to have new creditors coming after that asset. Now, thirdly, though, from an estate planning perspective, what does your will say with respect to that cabin? Is it supposed to be gifted equally amongst all of your children? And how is that going to happen if you added your child on title? Because that child now owns part of it, which means it's not going to form part of your estate. And so if your other children are supposed to get part of that cabin, it may not actually flow the way that you want. So hopefully this shows the importance of getting legal and tax advice before going out and adding children on title to any of your properties. Before you do that, definitely seek out independent legal advice and tax advice to make sure that you're making the best moves for you and your situation.